That's my beautiful family. Yes, I'm Adam. So our story is a bit unique in that we didn't come to learn of or enter into Carolina Movement until just about a month before we launched. So I'm going to try, I got like 5 minutes, and it's been 2 years, and so it's going to be really hard to fit it in, but I'm going to try my hardest. So I was a student pastor for 11 years here locally in Cary, and about October 2019, things were going really well. We had a couple of years of like really difficult season ministry with staff turnover and not good staff turnover and some tragic things that happened, and you know, I wanted to leave the ministry really. And then God just started blessing things, and things were going really well. And I went from student pastor to next gen pastor, so now I've got a greater responsibility. I'm preaching on Sundays. I'm an elder around the table, and things are going well. And then my wife comes to me in October of 2019 and said, I kind of don't really feel at peace. And I'm like, don't say that again, we're staying here. And so I fought the Lord for like 6 months. And because I'm like, this is it. And finally, February of 2020, I submitted, and I was like, all right, you're right, it's time for us to move on to whatever's next. And all along that journey of those few years that were difficult, the Lord was kind of planting the seed of church planting in my heart. And so I resonated so much with what Sean was saying, because everything that he said was like so true. I left student ministries, and I'm like, we're doing this, we're just going after it. We're going to Florida because, you know, Jay's sister lives in Florida, but we're going down there. It's a fresh start. We're going to go, you know, live near the beach. And that didn't work out. The Lord closed all those doors. And then, so we ended up back here. And to make it a long story short, I can give you the full story if you want afterwards. But we ended up here going, well, what's this going to look like? Because we had these plans and we had these dreams of what we felt like this planning journey was going to be. And the Lord just was closing all the doors. And so we just started praying through what it was going to look like, and if that's really what God had for us. And then he started providing. And by the way, this testimony, hopefully it's encouraging, because it's one of God's timing and one of his provision. And so the Lord slowed us down big time. We actually started gathering a core team in February of 2020, 2021. And we have 13 people on our core team when we just first started gathering. In December of 2021, we had 13 people on our core team, okay? So 9 to 10 months, right? And like, you get to that point in December and you go, okay, like seriously, is this really what you want us to do? So all along those 10 months, we're a part of a network called the Great Commission Collective, and they entered, we did a residency with them. So 9-month residency, they said, if you want to plant, here's what we suggest. So we did a residency. I got connected with a church in North Raleigh, where I did residency, and they became our sending church, and did a mentored internship for my master's work there. And so the Lord provided that for us. So many areas of growth that I didn't know, like that you don't know what you don't know. You know, that coming out of youth ministry and feeling like, oh yeah, I did this, so I can do this. And very humbling conversations where guys were going, listen, we see this, this, and this, and that needs to change, and you need to grow before you even think about launching a church. And it was hard to hear, but so necessary for me to be broken, and then the Lord really speak into and grow that brokenness. And so he did a lot in those 10 months in my life. And then we hit December, and all of a sudden it's like the Lord said, okay, now you're ready. And I get like chills and a little teary-eyed thinking about what he's done since then. So in a month, he doubled our core team. And then this is where I want to share with you, like I get blown away. So we talk a lot about, you know, we prayed for something, and the Lord provided, you know, and I have some specific things that I want to share with you about that. So we start praying through, you know, budget and equipment and all that stuff for our launch, and setting a launch date and going, we feel like the Lord's telling us to move in this direction, so we're gonna do it. So let's budget it out. And so we're budgeting a soundboard, and we're like, well, we need a soundboard, so here's about what it's gonna cost to get a soundboard. And in the meantime, the church that was sending us they had bought a new one, so I texted and said, hey, can we buy your old one off you? And they're like, well, not only that, you can have it, but you can also have all the, well, if you know, maybe you don't, but in-ear Aviom systems and digital snakes and like all this stuff, you can have all this, right? So like $5,000 worth of gear, here you go. And then we're praying through, okay, well, we need some pipe and drape because we're meeting in a school, so we're gonna need some pipe and drape, and that's gonna cost a lot of money, thousands of dollars. And the church that I was at was gifting us play panels for the kids and rugs, and we're there, and there's this trailer, and the guy giving us, he's like, hey, we have a lot of pipe and drape, you guys need pipe and drape. And I'm like, as a matter of fact, we do. So they gifted us 2 carts full of pipe and drape, which is like $3,000-$4,000 of pipe and drape. Then we're praying through road cases, okay? We need road cases to put our gear in, and I get a text from a pastor in Raleigh. He's like, hey, launch is coming up, what do you guys need? I'm like, we need road cases. He's like, I got 8 of them, here you go. Then I'm talking to my brother. I'm like, man, he's a sound guy. I said, I need some more sound equipment. I need DI boxes. What kind of DI boxes do I get? He goes, don't worry about it. I got 4 of them. Here you go. Then I'm at Panera Bread, and I'm sitting there. We're pricing out a trailer. Dude, I'm telling you, I got a document with all this stuff. I just like one thing after the other. I'm like, okay, we're pricing out a trailer. This stuff's got to go on a trailer, right? So here's all the trailers prices. It's like $6,000, $8,000, all this money. So I'm sitting there, and the day after some trailers have fallen through, Chris comes up to me, because we work at the same Panera sometimes. And he comes up on his way out, and he's like, man, launch is coming up. What do you guys, like, what's your biggest need? I said, the biggest need is a trailer. He's like, I got a trailer for you. So he goes to the point elders, and they're like, sure enough, here's a 20-foot trailer. You can have it. I want to tell you some more, but there's so many. Here's some, like, not really as big deal ones, but cool to me. Like, I need a new computer. My battery's shot. It's like, it's going dead. I need to buy a new computer. What if we get an iPad instead that I can like do my work on? I can take notes. I love the Apple Pencil. I look cool. I look trendy. Let's get one of those. So I'm at a conference in Texas, and they do a raffle for an iPad and pencil, and I win the iPad and pencil. Okay? I mean, it's like crazy, like little things like that, right? We're thinking of live. This is the last one, I promise. We're thinking of live streaming. Like, how are we going to get the live streaming? Yesterday, I'm sitting there getting a text from a worship guy. He's like, I got a small Mac. Do you need a Mac for your live streaming? Here you go. Like, it's just one thing after the other where God's just going, this is exactly where I want you, exactly the time I want you there. And that confirmation and affirmation was just huge. And so this is where we're a bit unique. We actually launched Palm Sunday, which you saw. And so we about a month before that got connected with Chris. And the thing that was great about Carolina Movement for us, and I'm over my time, but I'll try to wrap with kind of some of the needs. But the thing that was really cool is the network we're a part of, it's a bigger like global network, but there's only 3 network churches in North Carolina. And so what I was really craving was just some local relationships, some pastors that, I'm sorry, God is amazing, and this is God, this is the Holy Spirit, this is like emotion. But I needed, after what I kind of had went through in my previous church, I needed guys that were going to pour into me, that were going to breathe and speak life into me. And so I approached him and I said, man, listen, and Corey too, I'm like, I need to be a part of something where there's guys that I know I can come to that are local. Like, it's great to have the phone call with guys, but I want to sit face to face across the table with guys. So I want something that's more local, that I can just call some guy. I mean, I was trading numbers with guys last night, like guys that I can just call and get coffee or lunch with, and just guys that understand, like, being a youth pastor is great, but like the weight of this is great. And so, and this, by the way, this is not like brokenness. Okay, I want you to understand that this is excitement pouring through me. But like, I want guys that understand. And so that's why Carolina Movement for us is like so big. And one of our core values is church planting. That's like listed on our site. Like, that's what we want to be about. In fact, our small group structure is set up so that small groups eventually dream, vision, become a local church plant. But that's another reason why Carolina Movement. Like, we want to be involved in planting. And so needs for us, the guys stand up here and say it, like, prayer is number one. I mean, that for me, we got to where we are because of the prayers of the saints, and we're going to continue to move forward because of the prayers of the saints. So that for us, that for us is huge. And so I don't have, like, some of these guys up here, they're like prepared, they got their like prospectus, and I don't have that, but you can get my email address, and I'll get you on our email list so you can pray with us. But we need prayer. The Lord's been faithful. He's provided with the equipment and all that stuff. But the one thing I will say, my wife is sitting over there, and she is gracious, she is patient, and she sacrificed a lot. So she's been working full time so that we could pursue this dream. And she would be upset if I didn't say this. I'm not taking a salary. So one of the ways that we could use some help with some coalition churches is just providing a little bit more so that she doesn't have to bear that burden. So I'm going to stop just before this continues. And if you get to know me, which I hope that you do, this is not the only time this happens. This happens like all the time. I'm very emotional. And so, anyways, that's